I don't know if you've noticed, but plants get sick as well as animals. Perhaps you have found that sometimes the plants around you will suddenly wilt, the leaves turn yellow, and so on, which are the manifestation of plant disease. When a person is sick, we should see a doctor quickly to relieve our pain, and let us return to a normal and comfortable life as soon as possible. But what happens when a plant gets sick? Plants don't move, and they can't talk. It's really nerve-wracking. In fact, the plant also has its own way, through its own external manifestations, to tell us that it is sick. So today let's talk about these manifestations of disease in plants. After the plant is infected, all the abnormal external manifestations are called the disease symptoms of the plant, which includes two aspects, symptoms and symptoms. Disease is the abnormal state of the infected plant itself. The symptoms of plant diseases can be summarized into 5 types, which are discoloration, necrosis, decay, wilting, and deformity. The first is discoloration, which comes in 2 forms. One is the uniform discoloration of the whole plant, the whole leaf or part of the leaf, which is mainly manifested by chlorosis and yellowing. This discoloration is sometimes confined to certain parts of the leaf, such as the tip or edge of the leaf. In addition to appearing chlorinated and yellowed, the leaves may also turn purple or red. The other form is that the leaves are not uniform discoloration, such as flowers and leaves refers to the leaves appear yellow and green, and the contours between different parts are obvious discoloration. Mottling is discoloration in which parts are not clearly defined. Viral diseases, or deficiency disorders, often present as discoloration. The second is necrosis, a common condition in which local cells, or tissues of the plant die. Common ones are spots, piercings, cataplexy, and standing blight. Necrosis also presents with symptoms of ulcers and scabs. Necrosis generally does not change the original structure of the plant. The third is decay, which is deeper than necrosis and occurs when cells or tissues die, along with the destruction and breakdown of tissue structures. According to the texture of the corrupt tissue, it can be divided into dry rot, wet rot, and soft rot. When the tissue decays, the moisture can disappear in time to form dry rot. If the cells dissolve quickly, the decaying tissue cannot lose water, forming wet rot. If the mesogeloid layer in the tissue is destroyed, the decaying tissue cells are isolated, and the dissolution of cells occurs later, which is called soft rot. The fourth is wilting, which is a phenomenon in which plants, usually whole plants, droopy due to water loss. There are also 2 kinds of wilting. One is because of the physiological wilting of plants caused by drought, and the other is due to the pathological wilting caused by bacteria infecting vascular tissue. The fifth type is malformation, which is that after the plant is infected, the number of cells increases or decreases, the volume increases or decreases, resulting in many types of local or whole plant malformation, such as dwarfing, arbushing, in addition to leaf curling, wrinkling, leaf hypertrophy, distortion, etc. Deformities are also more common in viral diseases. After the disease of the plant, in addition to the above symptoms, the characteristic structure formed by various pathogens is often accompanied by the occurrence of the disease site, called symptoms. Common ones are mildew, powder, particles, and pus. Mildew is a common symptom of fungal diseases. For different diseases, the color, structure, and density of mildew layer vary greatly, can be divided into downy mold, black mold, gray mold, penicillium, white mold, and so on. A powdery substance is a characteristic of spores of certain fungi that are densely packed together. According to the different color can be divided into white powder, rust powder, black powder, and so on. Some bacteria produce particles of different sizes, shapes, and colors in the diseased area. Some of these particles live under the epidermis of the host and are not easily separated from the host tissue, such as the molecular sporospore disc, molecular sporospore organ, ascus, etc. Some grow on the surface of the host plant, such as Sclerotium, the cleistocarp of powdery fungi. Pus is the characteristic structure of bacterial diseases. In this way, droplets containing many bacteria and colloidal substances overflow on the surface of the disease, called pus. The symptoms generally appear in the late stage of plant disease, and the humid climate is conducive to the formation of bacterial pus. In general, symptoms are an important basis for identifying plant diseases. The symptoms of most diseases are relatively stable. However, the manifestations of symptoms are often not single or fixed. For example, flowers and leaves are often accompanied by organ malformations. In different parts or different periods of time, may also show different symptoms, such as apple ring fungus encroaches on the branches, causing nodular plaques, when invading the fruit, causing concentric ring pattern of corruption, and so on. Therefore, some diseases cannot be identified by symptoms alone, especially uncommon diseases, but can not only draw conclusions based on general symptoms. If necessary, it is necessary to identify the pathogen and give a comprehensive answer. Today's content is about this, and then you need to find a plant around you, respectively, to find a disease and a disease sign and photo records, but also from the size of the spot color disease site, as well as the texture of the symptoms of the detailed description, the results sent to the learning platform. We share that for today. See you next time.